Welcome
Got it.
back.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Don't know. Muy bien. Well, I'm actually not I'm not muy bien today, but we
What are
move.
you? Are you?
I don't know what I am.
You got your nails done. You should be
I'm
so
like,
good right now.
I'd such a stunning start to my day.
Mm-hmm.
I had like a soft life Monday. I like went and got my nails done,
Mm-hmm.
went to Boots, went
Mm-hmm.
incense shopping, bought some flowers, came home, chatted to Gavin for like 2 hours. He
Mm-hmm.
called in. He called at the door. He like knocked at the door. I thought it was a delivery man or something. I opened the door and I like, do you when you see someone who you're not expecting to
Yeah, you get
see?
such a shock. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, hello. So we were
Hi,
chatting for
Gavin.
ages, which was lovely. And then he left. And then I was just kind of like, ugh, I
I
just kind of felt like
know.
meh.
I know. Like that is kind of like Mondays. My Monday's been so hectic, guys. That's such a hectic like week, I think.
Your life has been hectic.
My life's been so hectic. If everyone's like, why are you doing another one on Zoom? Guys, like literally I don't even have like 5 minutes. I don't even have the time to drive in to Rebecca's to record the podcast. I last week, well, I can't even remember the start of the week. So the start of the week last week was my face was bad. Now my face is fine.
Mm.
Well, I kind of had the pain again. Oh, sorry, I kind of had the pain again today, but like it wasn't like intensely bad. And then I was in the hospital for a little procedure on Thursday. Friday, I was drove to Galway. My best friend Courtney and Chloe had their But We Move Live podcast. It was amazing. Went up with my best friend Aoife. We just had the best night ever. And I have been paying for this hangover ever since. So I had to come down on the Saturday because my family were around. So we were having like this family thing. It was like really good. And yeah, spend time with them. And I was so aggressively hungover. I literally had to leave where they were, go puke, and then come back because I was like, if I get sick where everyone is, like, I just genuinely can't even let them hear me puke because how violently I needed to throw up was not even okay. Because I feel like when I get sick, I'm like the exorcist. I'm like, "Whoa." So had to leave there, came back, woke up yesterday morning, went to see my nana, and honestly, I was like, "Ah, I have to drive to Nice, which is like 3 hours away from Kerry, like, and I was just so hungover, guys. I was like, this is not okay. So drove all the way up to Nice, and then I was like, I'm so glad I did this instead of driving up and down to Dublin in the one day. Because the reason why I went to Nice is I had a meeting in Dublin, but on the Nice side. This morning. Went in, had the meeting went really well. 4 hour drive down, hopped on Zoom now with Rebecca doing the podcast. This is what my life's like. Busy, busy bee.
And you got food poisoning in the middle of all
Oh
that
my God. And
also.
because I was like, there was something else at the start of the week last week. I got food poisoning as well. And do you know what? Name and shame, chopped and Tralee, never again, guys. Literally, violently sick. And that's all I had all day. So it was definitely that. But yeah, so my whole week, the last week has been so intense that I'm just like, I need to just chill out. I'm done. Like even
Your week was intense.
like I was texting Rebecca and I was like, when will this stop?
No, but do you know what? I think you're actually doing like so well at the moment. Like I think you're mentally thriving because if I went through what you've been going through, I I actually nearly have tears in my eyes thinking about how on edge I would be.
No, I was like I think I'm very mentally resilient to a certain
You
point,
are.
but like my body is just tired now and I'm actually off the drink now, girlies, like 100, like no questions about it. I always like I'll go a few months without drinking, but like I'm done now. I think this summer I kind of went drinking again. No, done. Done, done, done.
I think we're both entering our sober era and I love
Mhm.
that for us.
I love this for us as well. I think that
Genuinely.
we need it, to be honest, because I genuinely like I can't like my even one of the girls explained it to me, Dara, and like she's so right. Like, because no, I lived with Dara in Manchester. She's my best friend, but we were like going on like talking about it today. Like she has like a 2 day hangover as well, and she was like, you know, when you get it and it's like pins and needles in like your body. And I was like, oh my God, that's the best way of explaining it because like the way I go on about it is like Oh, I genuinely, like, have, like, you know the static you see on TV?
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I have that in my muscles for like 3 days afterwards. I get such a bad hangover. And but whatever about the getting sick, like I'm so used to getting sick from being hungover. That's not the thing. It's like the 3 days of pure exhaustion and like, the pins and needles in my body. And like I wouldn't really care about like if it was just like a getting sick thing, but this is the third day and I had a meeting in Dublin today. This is why I can't drink because it lit I went drinking on Friday, it's Monday and I'm still hungover. Like
You went hard though, like, you were drunk, like, you we
yeah.
FaceTimed.
I know. Oh my God, guys, we need to tell them about that FaceTime. Like, okay, so when boys are like, "Oh, she's definitely out talking to like other people," it's like, no. I literally come home and I FaceTime Rebecca straight away. Like, literally we were so drunk. Me and Aoife like ordered. So I need to actually put into context. We actually didn't drink that much alcohol. So how we were that drunk is actually beyond the beyonds. So we had like a glass okay, so fair enough, we had 2 glasses of rosé when we with lunch when we got up. That was at 2 o'clock, right? We took, like, a break for an hour and a half before we even got ready, so we weren't drinking anything, like well, we were still finishing off that wine, but, like, we weren't, like, going crazy. We'd White Claw, which is nothing, it's water, you know it yourself, Rebecca, White Claw is fine. We love White Claw,
Yeah,
like.
but White Claw was a chaser to your giant shots of tequila, like,
Yeah, but it was never the tequila, it was the wine, and this is where we fall down, so,
it's
basically
never the tequila.
it's never the tequila. If I just drank the tequila on its own, like when I was on holidays, all I drank was tequila. The only nights I got hangovers was when I mixed my alcohol. So
True.
I had the tequila and I only had 2 shots. No, they're big shots, but like I
They
didn't
were
drink.
6 shots. They were 6. It wasn't 2 shots. They weren't shots, they were like 6, 3 shots in each glass.
I feel like that was a
Like, if
normal
you think
shot for
of the
me.
teeny tiny shots that bars give you, like, it
I
was 3 of those.
I genuinely feel like that's a normal serving for me when it comes to tequila though. So like
Oh, same.
Yeah, literally, like, so, I was like, "Okay." Now my rookie move here was I probably should have had the tequila before I had the wine. Like, that would have lined my stomach, I would have been fine, but anyway. So had some tequila. Now I was so nervous for my friends because, like, I just was like, "Oh my God, they've worked so hard for this, like, I know the hard work that they put into it, like, how nervous they were." And I genuinely, like, I get so excited for my friends, but I also get so nervous for my friends as well, so I feel like I take the nerves on, and I was like, "I'm genuinely gonna throw up, I'm so nervous for them." So, got in there, got a glass of wine. This is how I know I actually didn't drink that much. Got a glass of wine. The glass of wine got knocked when we sat down, and I was like, "It's fine, I'll get another one at the break." So Aoife was like, because
Oh.
Aoife had a glass of wine, she gave me half of hers, and like that, like the glass of wine was small, like so we actually weren't even drinking that much in that first half, and then that was knocked by someone who sat down, and then she said, "Don't worry, girl, we'll get to at the break." So then at the break, Aoife knocked hers, so I gave her half of mine, and I had
Yes.
another one that I poured into a glass that got knocked as well. So really we had 1 glass of wine each between the 2 halves. Like, they were completely knocked. Like, she had 2 bottles, I had 2 bottles, we both got knocked, so we only had, like, 1, do you know what I mean? And then, we went on to the bar afterwards, and in fairness, I had 2 glasses of wine in there. So bearing in mind now, all this time, between 2 to 12 o'clock at night, I've only had, like, 5 glasses of wine probably. And
Oh
Aoife's the
my
same. And
goodness.
I got bottle of water as well, like, while we were at the live show, so I wouldn't get dehydrated because I love drinking water in between, so I don't know how the hell I got that drunk. But anyway, I'd say it was just because the lack of eating and the nerves and everything, you know? But yeah, so by the time I got back to the hotel, I was so drunk, and I was saying to Aoife all day, I was like, "Oh, I wish Rebecca was here, we would have had so much fun." She's like, "I know, we would have had so much fun." And, I was like, "I'm gonna FaceTime her." And in my head, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna FaceTime Rebecca for like 10, 15 minutes." No, I FaceTimed Rebecca from the second I got into that hotel room. I'd already ordered like Zion spice bags. So I was waiting on 2 spice bags. And the whole time of this, Aoife fell asleep. And I had to go down and get it at the door. I'm FaceTime to Rebecca. I was walking down in socks, guys. There was a hot, like, there was this bouncer at the door. He was honestly 6'8". Did I show you him on FaceTime?
You kind of showed me. I got to see, like, a little glimpse
Do you
of him,
see
but
how
then he had
tall he
passed you
was?
through, like, your room. Yeah, I saw how tall he was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
and right, when we first came in, he didn't ask for our room and my name, but when I was coming back out on my own, I was like, "Oh my," like, you know, when you're drunk and you're like, "Oh my god, he definitely fancies me." First of all, the state of me, I was walking through that place with a hoodie on, literally, like, socks and a skirt down to go get a fucking spice bag, and I was like, "Oh my god, like, he literally fancies me so much." Like, no, he was just like, "Are you breaking and entering into this hotel room?" And I was
Are
like,
you
"No."
homeless?
I was like
'Cause you were like, "He already saw me when I came in," but I didn't put 2 and 2 together that, like, when you came in, you were
And
dressed,
I was
like
like when I came in, like, I was, like, flirting with him as well, like, really, like, "Hi, ha, ha, ha," like, chatting to him. I can't even remember what I said, but I remember I was flirting with him, and obviously very badly. But when I came back, there was some other girl talking to him, like, he's that hot, like, that obviously she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go up and, like, talk to him as well." And fair game, girl, like, do you know what I mean? But, like,
yeah.
he was just so hot. He was, like, 6'8", really tall. Like, I can't even remember what his face properly looks like, but all I know is, like, he was like McDreamy, what I could imagine McDreamy would look like. He was so stunning. But anyway, so then we go to bed, whatever, and then no, oh sorry, so then I come back to the hotel room. Me and Rebecca, I didn't know this, told me this. We took off our makeup together, did we?
We did. We took off our makeup together. We literally I was because I was just at home alone Friday night, you know me, staying in, chilling, and, I was staying up as late as possible because my parents were out.
Mhm.
So I was just chilling on the couch. Then we were on the couch, then you were on FaceTime to my mom.
Oh my god, I was, Colette. I was like, "Throw me on the phone to her." I was like, "Well, girl."
So you
Poor
were
Chris in the
talking for a
background is
bit.
probably like, "Oh my god, will she ever shut up?"
You were having so much fun talking, and then we went upstairs. Well, I was going upstairs. We went upstairs, me and you. I was
Me and
going
you.
upstairs and I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, I need to take off my makeup before I go to bed." Like, this is like 1 AM at this point.
Literally.
Um, and we were on the phone like an hour and 20 minutes. I don't even know what we were talking about. Probably everything, nothing, all at the same time.
Literally. It's so funny because, like, I genuinely thought we were on FaceTime for, like, 20 minutes, and I was like, "Oh my god, she's gonna kill me." I kept her up so long, and I looked and I hung up, and it was, like, 1 hour and something. I was like, "What the fuck was I even talking to her about?" Like,
Like,
how
I was
cute
just watching
though.
Gilmore Girls.
Like, you
I was
know,
just
I'm not a
watching
drunk
Gilmore Girls.
texter. I can't use my phone when I'm drunk. Like, all I text people is like, "Hi." So the fact that I was like, "I'm gonna FaceTime Rebecca," like, that is the biggest compliment ever. I don't FaceTime anyone when I'm drunk. I was like, "I miss her. FaceTime her," because I feel like because 'cause we've done this over Zoom the last 2 weeks, like, we haven't actually seen each other. So, like, I miss her because I haven't seen her. You know what I mean?
We literally haven't seen each other since like the start of September. It's October now.
I know, that's actually so fucked up. And because of the fact that we, like, doubled up on the episodes.
We doubled up and then yeah, because we doubled up and then I was
Mhm.
away and then I came back and then yeah, and now we're here
God.
and now it's October. It's October. It's October.
At least I get to see you next weekend, and we'll actually be able to record one in
Oh my God,
person.
after the 6th. Yeah,
I was like to her, once I
after
get my
the
life
6th.
back after the
Everything's happening
6th,
again.
you won't know me 'cause I'll be so happy I'll be back in my hermit. I haven't even read a book in a month. Like, that's so
That's
unlike me.
crazy.
Can you imagine? Like, no books read by me, that is bad, and there's, like, a long list of ones that I wanna get through, but we're getting into cozy season. I really need to get, like, new candles and, like, I'm loving my Amazon blanket, but I wanna get, like, darker bed sheets, I think, to go with the whole fall vibe. Normally, I'm, like, a white bed sheet kinda girly. What are you? Are you white bed sheet as well?
I do have a black Amazon blanket, which is actually behind me, and then I have a white Amazon blanket as well. But yeah,
Mm,
I do like actually during the winter time, I do like a black sheet. Like my
yeah.
ideal sheet would be like a silky black sheet, like
Mhm.
actual silk.
Yeah, actual silk. Do you know what I love as
Actual
well?
silk.
You know, they're, like, really high Egyptian cotton tray count?
I'm you know me,
Obsessed.
Venus and Taurus. Like I'm obsessed with thread count on sheets. Like I will not get like below 400. Like
No,
absolutely not.
no, I won't either. They
Absolutely
need to be
not.
cozy, like.
I'll never forget when I went to UL, when I went to college this one time for like 6 weeks, and I got like Penny's duvet cover, like this random Penny's duvet
Like
cover,
sandpaper.
and I hated college anyway, but
Mm,
the sandpaper, like, it just made my experience
no.
I think one of the reasons I dropped out, honestly.
Do you know what I will say though? I feel like some of
I was like,
the
"I can't do it anymore."
I feel like some of the pennies ones are actually really good though. Like, there's some ones you can get and they're actually quite
Now,
soft. And
yeah,
if you use it, yeah, but back then they were like you would be like shedding skin. They were so dry. Like back in my college days, well, they
like
were
this
the
is like
exact same.
2012. Yeah,
Once my mom's gonna kill me for saying this on the podcast. My mom once brought like Ralph Lauren sheets back from America. Like we went to America when I was younger for me. I still have them out there. They're the softest ones ever, like softest sheets ever there, but there's like roses on them and I don't like patterns on sheets.
I'm the same, yeah.
I'm like it has to be like even if it's one block color, I just need a block color. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah, I'm the
also
exact same.
when you said there about silk, do you have the silk pillowcases? Because I've started my hair care journey. Is that
This
them?
is 100% mulberry silk, but then I have
I just
but
love how
then
bougie
I
you
have
are, like.
this one's satin, and you can actually, when you get a real silk, because silk like helps with sweating, so you don't sweat as
Yeah.
much. Like it has a cooling effect, whereas satin is so fucking sweaty. Like satin is not good, but I just
Okay.
have them for like the effect. But yeah, I have my mom actually bought one Christmas. Like she was like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "A silk pillowcase."
'Cause, I always thought that silk made me sweat, but it's satin that makes me sweat, obviously.
So anyway, fake silk makes you sweat.
It does, folks. Yeah, it makes me sweat anyway. So I've started wearing, and I actually am such, when you go to bed, are you like, the girls actually did this in the podcast, and it like really made me realize that people go to bed so differently. Do you wear like fluffy stuff to bed? No, you wear Skims. Why am I even asking? I feel like I know this answer already. You're like cotton skins, aren't you?
I would wear I mix it up. I have it honestly depends on my mood in the day. Sometimes I'm naked. Sometimes I would do like my Skims dress, or like if I want to like feel hot going, like
Going to
sometimes I want to
sleep,
feel hot
yeah.
going to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put on like my Skims dress, or like my Skims. I have two Skims kind of bed dresses. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
do them, do perfume. Then I have my Skims like pajama set, which are like the modal kind of cotton.
Oh
They're my
yes.
choice, like the a
Mm-hmm.
matching set, like the
Mm-hmm.
button up. But I don't do like the pennies fluffy pajamas.
Okay,
I
so
used to, but
yeah,
I
I
don't.
used to as well, but it's getting colder now, and I am a shorts and a long sleeve top girl when I go to bed. Because I
Okay.
find I get cold on top, but I'm roasting. Like my whole heat leaves through my legs, I think. So I have started wearing like a fluffy pajama top to bed, but I'll never wear pants to bed ever. Like it'll always be shorts because I feel like I overheat.
Okay.
Do you know? And the last day they were saying like Courtney's such a like, but now she loves the heat, and you and me don't do well in heat, so maybe this is why. People who love the fluffy PJs and like being warm and cozy, they probably wear the other ones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I used to like a fluffy sock and a fluffy pajamas, but I just feel like all the fluffy pajamas, like I like to look good going to bed. Like
That's such a
I
nice
think it's like a
thing.
self-care thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I love like my black skim set because it's like
Yeah.
that modal, and it's just like the button up and then the pants.
Mm.
But because all the fluffy pajamas, I used to have loads of them years ago from Pennies. But I feel like even I was in Pennies today, I was looking at the pajamas and I was like, these all look so juvenile.
Yeah, I
Like they're
know.
all like with the designs and the Disney, and I'm like, I just want like a plain black matching set so I can look, and it's not looking hot for anyone else but me. Do you know what I mean? But I just like looking hot going to bed.
Because I got what's it called? I got me and the girls. We went to that Bulmer's Secret Orchard thing. Did I even talk about that in the podcast?
You did, yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's been ages. Um, yeah, I got us all matching PJs when we went, and I got us like these ones because like I was trying to get them, and like all of them, like I was FaceTiming Courtney, I was like, they all look a bit weird to be honest. But the ones I got were like really cozy. They were like busy chilling, and there was all chilies on the bottoms, and there was like a little chili
I
on the
saw
top.
them. I saw them today.
Yeah, they're cozy now, to be fair. So I'm sleeping in that top a lot now in shorts. But when they did that bit on the podcast, I was like, oh my God, all of us sleep so differently. Who would have thought? I'm like
Everyone
ugly
sleeps
when I go to
differently.
bed, I feel like. I'm like, that's my one time of the day where like I remember even before I used to like make sure that like I'd sleep and tan, wake up all tanned and stuff. No, sleep is the most important thing to me. And genuinely, if I can't find a man who respects the fact that I literally need to nap more than the average human being, like you're not the one for me. And like I find sleep is so important to me, so I will go to bed looking so ugly, literally need to be so cozy, so cold. I need to be freezing to fall asleep. If I'm not freezing cold, I won't sleep. Like I just won't. So I will just be like, I need to be comfy and just like feel the sheets and feel fresh going to bed. But I look ugly. Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't look like a 10 out of 10. I just like to feel good. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like my hair sometimes, and it depends. If I'm going through a little depressy season, like I will have like oversized t-shirt, like the ugliest tracksuit with like stains
Like
on
Adam
and
Sandler
like
kind of
not get,
vibe.
yeah, Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
I'm either Adam Sandler or like I'm going to bed hot. Like I've no in
Yeah.
between. I
Love
feel like
that
in
for
life
you.
I've no in between, but yeah, I'm either Adam Sandler and like that week a few weeks ago, like there was 3 days in a row where I was just
That week
it
scared
wasn't
me.
looking good, bruv.
People
It
are
wasn't looking
honestly
good.
gonna think like something crazy happened, but it's just like it was just such a
Nothing
scary
crazy happened. And
time.
I said that in my YouTube video. I was
I
like,
know
it's
I
not
cried
like this
listening to
like
it.
traumatic.
I was like driving up to Dublin. I was like, Rebecca, I'm listening to your YouTube video. I'm crying. I love you so much. I was like, this she's gonna be so sick of me telling her how much I love her this weekend between me being drunk and sober.
Well, do you know what? I professed my love for you on the YouTube video.
I
Like, and that
know.
you, I don't know how my brain like does it, but I just like record these vulnerable things, and then I just put them up, and I pretend I didn't do
Say
that, and that
it.
no one's watching it, even
Mm.
though like so many people, like I literally used a clickbait thumbnail of me crying, like so, like nearly 1,000 people have watched it already. Like it's
Oh.
number one out of my last 10 videos on my YouTube channel. Like, and I'm just like, I
Nobody's seen
so
it, it's
I
fine.
nobody's seen it. Nobody knows what's going on with me. I'm so mysterious. No one figures out anything.
I'm weak.
Oh, it's my mic that's changing.
Oh, it is the
That's why.
mic. Yeah, because I was wondering. Okay, now we've got the queen back. Kissing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at
I
how
love how you
my
know the
tears
songs now.
ricocheted. And I can go anywhere I
And
want, just not home. And you can leave all my heart off the blood, but you will still miss me in your bones. And I still talk to you when I'm screaming at the sky.
you
Oh my
are
god.
thriving as a Swiftie.
I
Oh my
love her.
God.
Now you really got me on her.
And Folklore is like the perfect album for this time of year.
It
Like Folklore.
Where in my life was listening to that driving down today and I was like, "Oh my god, thank God Rebecca got me into this because this is perfect."
It's it's perfect. It's the autumn winter albums like Red, Folklore, even Evermore. You could say Midnights is an autumn album as well. I would say Midnights, even though it wasn't released. Was it released in autumn? I don't know. Either way.
Do you know what
But
song I
I
was
think it
listening to
is.
as well yesterday and I was like crying listening to it. It was so good.
What?
Um, Playing to Paris by Nessa Barrett. I was crying.
I
So
also
good.
love Nessa Barrett.
Love her so much. I've loved her for years, so I'm so delighted she's getting her flowers. I love when people get their flowers because they deserve them. Why isn't my Instagram working?
It is. I've seen it. What filter did you use?
Just a funky one, but why can't I reshare it? Like when I try reshare it, this is what it's like. And you know what? One thing that I'm very proud about myself is I do not care if I'm the first 5 seconds of seeing your story. Yeah,
Either do I.
yeah,
Either
I've
do
seen
I.
it first. I don't care. Good for me. I deserve an
I
award.
I
Where's
don't I
where's
don't
my
think about
prize?
that.
Where's my
I
prize?
honestly I never, unless it's a man that I'm talking to
Oh,
and
I
he like
hate that,
hasn't
and it's the
responded or
start.
something.
It's the start then, and you're
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, do you know what's so infuriating when you put up a story and you look so hot and the boy you want to see it doesn't see it, and it's like it's about to
And
run
you're
out
like
inside
waiting.
23 hours.
Yeah. That was
I hate
that was
it.
me on Saturday, but he did end up seeing it, so it was okay.
I feel like anytime that I want like a certain man to see my story, he'll never see it. But then when I put up an ugly one, like especially on my private story, they're like the first to see it. And I'm like, why did you see that?
Because they see the little green circle and they're like, what is this?
Yeah, true, I
I don't have
suppose.
any men in my little green circle. Maybe I should add some in for like
Oh,
funsies.
it's so funny. I love having men of mine. A lot of them are just friends, but every now and then I'll pop in like one or two I think is like I'm texting or I think that they're cute, like or I fancy them. Um, or there's a little something there because it just kind of adds to the excitement, you know what I mean? It's like, "Ooh, they seen my story." And plus also, like I can't go filtering through who's seen my story to see have they seen my story. So if they're my close friends, it's quicker to see. You see me
Oh
gonna hiccup.
yeah.
Because like
I didn't
I
think, but see, oh, do you know what? I think it's my
I'm sorry,
issue
I'm not
actually. Sorry, I
scrolling
just
through
didn't think.
1,000 people to fucking see have you seen my story.
See,
I'm adding you to my close friends.
See, my thing is if I'm ever talking to a guy, they
Mm.
always are in like the top. But does that mean, what does that mean? Does that mean like I'm clicking there? Does it mean we're interacting the most?
Yeah, it
So
can work
he's,
both ways, but usually it means like that you're interacting with each other's page a lot. Like a lot of people are at the top of mine, but it's because like I text them all day, every day. So that's the interaction. So sometimes if you're just texting them, but like one thing I will say about boys is like they go through our whole page more than we think that they do. Because the amount of times
oh,
like
like the feed.
the amount of times I've been texting a boy and he's been like brought up, like I've gone on a date with him and he brought up something that was in my highlight like 2 years ago. And I'm like, he was like, "Oh yeah, didn't you go?" And I'm like, "Oh, I never ever talked to you about that." He's like, "Well, I think I've seen it on your Instagram." I was like, "You actually would have had to go through like so many highlights to find that one thing that you've seen." Do you know what I mean? And I love catching them out. I'm like, "Yeah, you like, you think I'm cute."
Do you know what I did today? And I shared makeup pics from my makeup artist era from my
Oh my God, I
old
loved
Instagram
it.
account.
I saw it, I
But
loved it.
someone that I'm talking to kind of, I don't think knew I had an old Instagram account.
Okay, is this who I think it is?
Yeah, of course it is. You know me and
Oh
my
my
fucking
gosh.
hyperfixations. But
Wait,
they
did it text you?
they have viewed, no, but they have no. But they have viewed the story up till the old account and then they didn't view the next one.
Hmm.
So then in my brain I'm like they went onto the old account.
Lads, it was so funny. My mom goes, "Oh, yeah, maybe you should go back to doing it in person because the energy was so off." I was like, "Mom, we were so depressed last week. It wasn't even normal. Like, as in, like,
We just weren't happy girls.
she was like, the energy was dead." I was like, how I even got Rebecca on the podcast is beyond me. Like, and how she got me to come on when my eye was so bad is crazy. Like, we're just so dedicated to the girly pops that we just had to
I
do the
was just about
podcast.
to say the only reason was because, and I think me and you being so stubborn works so well
Yeah,
because it's like
100%.
we're not about to miss a week. Like
No.
I'm so intrigued to see how far we can get this streak going. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
100%. I feel like we'll keep it going because I feel like it's so good when there's someone else being like, "Hey," if that was me, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna leave it off this week." Like if so, say if we were doing this on our own, right? And you had the week you had last week, and I had the week I had, we wouldn't have done a podcast. But because we have each other, and like also, I feel like this is our like safe space. I genuinely feel like nobody listens sometimes until you talk about the analytics to me, and I'm like, "Fuck, there is so many people listening to us right now." Like, as in, like so many people listening to us chat shit and I'm just here like venting and I'm like, yeah, and then this happened and then this happened and I'm like, I am actually opening up a lot of deep wounds here on the internet and there's hundreds of people listening to this podcast every week.
Literally every single week.
Oh,
That's what I said
crazy.
about my YouTube channel. Like I pretend it's not happening. And I think
Mm,
pretending it's not happening is the only way you can do anything like this. Like you
yeah.
can't successfully put yourself out on the internet if you're
Mm,
aware of the numbers or like if you
yeah.
like think like, oh, one person might say, and of course sometimes you say a comment and you're like, oh, I don't want that in my digital footprint. I don't want that on the internet. Like
Yeah.
edit that out, whatever, which is
Yeah.
fine. But I think,
What have
you
we
can
said
get to a
now?
place as well.
What have
I
we
have
said
said
now?
everything.
Like I genuinely feel like what have we left to hide, like, at this point, you know? "Sorry, this piece of hair is ruining my
To be
vibe."
honest, the only things I've left to hide are being saved for the live shows.
Yeah, oh my God, they would be so fucking good. Lads, I'm sorry the shit that you
I
would hear
actually
off
told
Rebecca is
Gavin today
crazy.
about one of the things that I did recently that's going to be in a live show, like the thing I did
The
recently. And
Oh, did you?
yeah,
What did he say?
And he was like, no fucking way. And I was
Oh
like, yeah.
my
He was like,
god.
he was like, for the story, like, why not?
That is
Like,
so gas.
why not? But
I
yeah,
can
I was
imagine
telling him
Gavin
about
being
it.
like, really, like, Jesus Christ. Trying to make Gavin into
I was just like, I kind of just brushed it off and I was like, oh, I did this for a guy or whatever. And he was like, what? And I was like,
Mm,
yeah.
I
I was like,
know.
I don't know. I was like, I don't know what led me to do it, honestly. I'd say Gavin's well used to me by now, though. He knows that I could come out with absolute like I'd say he
Absolutely.
doesn't know what to expect half the time.
I feel like because you've got two good stories for this live show, I'm gonna have to come up with. Well, I already have one. We have the really funny one that happened recently with me as well. Literally like the same week. Well, no, mine was the week after. When we were both going through the bad week, this was this thing that I was doing or happened, whatever. Was so funny. Like, I feel like I'm gonna have to do something else chaotic to kind of match the energy because your stories. I don't think that, like if there was a prize you'd win there. Like there's no topping them. Like as in it's crazy.
If there was like a prize for people to guess what both of the stories are,
Oh my God.
that people would guess. There's no
What if
way.
what if it was a case of like we could confirm or deny. Like if people were like, "Oh, da 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 da." Do you
Yeah,
know what
but
I
I
mean?
don't think people would guess.
I actually feel like it's so left field that they wouldn't, to be fair.
I have beef with Hinge, right? No, I
Go
don't
on.
have beef with Hinge. I have a story time about, right. So I want your opinion on this because
Okay.
I feel like this is quite up your alley, right? So I
Mm.
re-download Hinge on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time I deleted Hinge, I did so to the point where I deleted my profile. Like I didn't just delete the app.
Yeah,
I
I
was
always
like,
delete my
I'm
profile as well.
so, yeah. I was like, I'm so done with this shit show. I was like, I'm deleting the whole thing, right?
Mm.
So I did that anyway on Thursday, re-downloaded it, whatever. And I matched with this guy on Friday and he's nice. The chat is flowing. We're chatting on Hinge, and then he's like, "What's your Instagram?" And it's like Friday evening. I'm doing nothing, so I am in, like playing a game of like not responding, whatever. So I'm
Mm.
responding. He's like, "What's your Instagram?" We take it to Instagram, and then he's like, "Actually, what's your WhatsApp?" We take it to WhatsApp. This is all Friday evening now. This is
Is
all
this a
happening.
story that you told me yesterday and I nearly had a shit attack in the car?
No, 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 no. That's
Oh,
not. There was two guys on Friday evening,
okay,
and the
okay.
guy, but the other guy took precedence. I was more interested in talking to the other guy, and that's why. So anyway,
That's
I
what I
was talking to
heard.
this guy. So I was talking to this guy Friday evening, right? And it was like 9:30. We were like voice noting. Like he was asking me what I had for dinner. Like it was going, like the chat was going well.
Mm.
But he just basically asked like too many questions in a row. And I was getting tired. Like it was like 10 p.m.
So he showed
on
interest
Friday
and you
night.
were saying you just were like, I'm not interested.
He was just showing a lot of interest, but I think look, he was just I don't want to he asked me like four questions in a row pre me answering. And I was just like, he's just asking me a lot of questions right now. And also I was kind of talking to the other guy. This is why I don't like dating apps, by the way, because I fell victim to the illusion of choice, right?
Mm.
I fell victim to the illusion of choice.
Mm.
So I was also having more banter with the other guy. So I like didn't respond to this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I left him on red. I didn't respond. But I was planning on responding to him, just not on Friday night.
That's not even
So then
convincing.
Saturday,
That's not you
what?
always do this. I feel like I know you so well at this point when you say things not even in a convincing manner. Like I
No,
was
but
planning on
I
replying
like
to him.
it's gonna sound bad, but I would have got bored over the weekend and responded. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
ghosting. I'm not a ghoster, basically, is what
You're
I'm trying to say.
Casper, the friendly
Like
ghost.
ghosting is not my move. I just don't.
Mm. Plus, you
I
don't
just
also
it's not
have to
my move.
text this random strange man that you met on a Hinge date app back straight away either. Like, you don't owe him anything.
Yeah, exactly. This is my point. So then Saturday, I went out with my mom shopping. We went for a drink, and then we came home, had a Chinese, and we actually sat on the couch and watched a movie, which me and my mom don't do often.
Oh, that's
So we
cute.
watched Eat, Pray, Love. Yeah, we watched Something's Gotta Give, and then halfway through, mom was like, "I've seen this movie recently. Can we watch something else?" And I
Uh,
was like, I've seen this movie recently too. This is my comfort movie, but okay, we can. So we turned on Eat, Pray, Love. So then it was like late Saturday night. And also I
Mhm.
was talking to the other guy because the other guy was keeping my interest a little more. But then I wake up on Sunday morning to a message from this guy on Saturday night. So not even like 24 hours after we matched initially.
Yeah.
And he just sent a message saying, I hate ghosting.
Oh, I hate that. Some
So
guy
now
said
it's
that to me
like,
before. Do you know what? Some guy said this to me before, and like something crazy had happened to me. Like someone like had just passed away belonging to me. This was years ago. It was like Tinder, I swear, like because I haven't been on Tinder in like years and years and years. And he was just like, "Oh yeah, thought you were." Actually, I have two really. Actually, I have three stories, but this guy said something like, "Oh, I thought you were better than that, like to ghost me or whatever." Da da da. And I was like, anyway, something had happened, and like someone belonging to me passed away, and I was like, "Cheers, someone's after passing away or whatever," and like. That just goes to show because I feel like you can be like so inconsiderate and say like in a whole world where like what if you were a ghoster? Like all he's doing there is showing that he has a very severe anxious attachment style and that he's going to be a problem in the future because he hasn't actually recognized it in himself. If he's saying, "Oh, I don't like a ghoster," that's cool. If you don't like them, why are you looking for comfort or closure out of somebody who's ghosting you? Not that you were Rebecca, but like you're never going to find that. Just accept that, okay, this person isn't what I thought they were. That's a shame. But look on to the next. And like you've seen on Hinge, like you were saying there, you fell victim to choice. I'm sure that there's plenty of other girls that are looking for somebody who's gonna love bomb them the way that he probably would have done to you. Do you know what I mean?
but it's like now I can't text him back. Do you know what I mean? Like I went to
Yeah,
text him back because I hadn't seen his message because I don't have my notifications on.
I don't
And then I
either.
see the I hate ghosting message. So now I'm like,
Yeah,
number one, like, so I hate ghosting also. Like
yeah.
there's someone I have text that hasn't texted me back. Am I gonna text
Mhm.
them being like, I hate ghosting? No.
No. Yeah. Speaking of not replying, I my Hinge is so funny
Like
because
we
I literally never go on it when I'm interested in someone. And this guy texts me on the 17th of September. Cause right, I have this like really good thing on my Hinge, girl. So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here, because it works honestly. And I gave it to one of the boys, and it worked. And now he has a girlfriend. Now I'm not saying I'm the reason that he got the girlfriend, but when he put this on his Hinge, he said that he literally didn't have to do any of the grafting. That like literally everyone wrote to him. So in like your Hinge prompts, like one thing that I have down is like something we could do together and together we could, and I have rob a bank. Right? Because it's quirky, it's fun, it's kind of like, oh, she's funny, like she's got a bit of personality to her. So this guy wrote to me on the 7th. Now I've had this in my thing since like May. And it's worked ever since. No,
yeah.
earlier, I'd say maybe January. And like it's like sure when every time. They'll always write to me first being like, oh, Bonnie and Clyde or something like that. And this guy wrote to me on the 17th of September and goes, I'll bring the balaclavas. But I didn't see it like, because like I don't go on Hinge. So when I do, I match with loads of people and then I get off it. I don't write to them. Like, so he wrote to me on the
No.
17th. He wrote to me on the 17th of September saying, I'll bring the balaclavas. And I never replied. So today he wrote to me on the 2nd of October and said, I've been arrested. I thought that was so good. I was like,
That's such a good you have to
I
respond to him
did.
now.
I actually texted him like 4 messages after it because I thought it was so funny. I thought that was hilarious. I was just like, that is so, so funny. Like so gas. I actually giggled out loud when I
Because
read that.
because guys, like, the way guys use Hinge, they'll, like, go through their matches, like, message everyone whereas, like,
Mm.
a girl will have, like, 27 hearts and, like, 27 messages.
I used to do this thing
Do you know
on
what I mean?
my
Like,
Instagram account where like I'd screenshot record because I used to leave it so long and it would be like 50 and then I'd be like X or yes like on the whole thing. It was so mean, but I did. But yeah, some of them are really funny. And like, do you know what I don't like what they do? Oh my God, this guy I didn't write back I don't write back to any of them. 19th of September last. I need to get back to
I
him.
only write back on Hinge if it, like, really catches my attention.
This guy wrote to me on the 14th of September and I never replied. So on the 20th of September, because I sent him a few messages and I was like, no, probably not for me. And then he sent me a voice, like we were voice noting, and then I was like, no, I'm not interested. And then he goes, hey babe, I'm really going on this to be honest. So if you want to chat on something else instead, is that much easier for you? And I was just like, buddy, bit intense. Like, when they write to me being like, oh, I'm actually not on this. Like, you should have said that before I've ignored your message. Now I think that you're dying to talk to me. But I am
Yeah,
actually
like
texting this one
the
guy though at
only
the
time to
moment.
sink that in is when you're mid conversation and it's flowing.
100%. I am texting this one guy consecutively at the moment. Um, but the only thing, I don't think he listens to this podcast, so it's fine. But the only thing that I think I wouldn't like really like out of this situation is like, now we haven't gone on a date yet anyway, so it's still early days. So I don't even know why I'm trying to see, this is where my brain goes and the avoidant self that I am. I'll go to the point of like trying to self-sabotage this before this even like before I even go on a date. I might go on a date with him and not even like him. Do you know what I mean? But what's it called? The thing that I don't really like is like for like a few weekends now, he's gone out on a Friday and then died all day Saturday, but then he sleeps for like 24 hours and then he's gone. Do you know what I mean? And it's like
So
I dated a DJ before and I just this guy isn't a DJ, don't worry. No more DJs, guys. I've been there. But my ex-boyfriend was a DJ and like he used to go like to work on a Friday and I wouldn't hear from him until Sunday. You know what I mean? And like I just am like, would I put myself back down that rabbit hole of like anxiety again? I don't think so. Because like it's
but
not
like
that hard
just
to use
because
your
they do that doesn't mean yet they can send a message.
literally because like I'm sorry, I don't even like barely use my phone when I'm drunk and I even FaceTimed you to check in with you like you're my boyfriend now, Rebecca.
No,
Like, but
okay,
you
number one,
know.
I'm glad to be your boyfriend. Number two, though, is I truly, truly believe as lol.
Did your man text you
Guess you
back?
just liked my story.
Oh, of course he did. After we just saying it on the podcast, like I swear to God, everything we say in this podcast comes true. It's ridiculous. Of course. Fucking eat
They
it.
always come back. Anyway,
Oh wait,
we
this
actually we're
asshole.
actually such witches, aren't we? We're
This
such witches.
this boy that I was talking about there put in this thing into I don't even think he's gonna listen to the
No way.
podcast. Do you know what? If you do listen to this podcast, and I'm looking directly in the camera, you could at least text me once in the 20 hours when you're supposedly asleep. But anyway, um, I put up a question box and I was driving down from Dublin today and I ate a burrito in the car and it went all over me. And I basically drove into a checkpoint and I've never actually been stopped in a checkpoint in like, honestly, since I had my provisional license, which was like 8 or 9 years ago. But I got a Zambreros on the way down because there's this like petrol station that does it on the way down Junction 14. And I usually get the bowl, but I find the bowl is so messy eating. So why did I think that the burrito would be easier? I was like, sure, it's fine. I can just sit in my lap and like eat it away. And it went all
Yeah.
over my top. And I texted him when I got home and I was like basically saying that like, oh my God, thank God, because when I went down when I was like I was driving down, I spilled a whole burrito down my top, and I was like, are the guards gonna pull me over? And then I was like, oh, any topics to talk about in the thing? And he wrote into the question box being like, eating while you're driving is a pretty good topic. Cheeky bastard. He's very
Really.
sarcastic. He's got like a really bad sense of humor though. That's why I think he's so funny. And he does this weird laugh that I do. When I'm laughing, I get this really weird giggle. And like you know the
You are
giggle
a giggler, yeah.
I'm a giggler. But then I also have this other laugh where like I lose my breath. And one day he was telling me this story and he was like voice noting and he was like laughing the way I laugh. He's like, oh, and I was just like, that is so cute.
Your giggle's really cute though. Like you have a
I
really cute
know.
laugh.
I've such a child's laugh. Like it's so funny because one of the girls are like when I was growing up, all my friends used to always say, "Oh my God, your laugh makes me laugh," and so did my parents. And then
That's so cute.
I know, and but it's because like I was such a giggle, like. But then and I laugh a lot because I do find myself hilarious if I do say so myself. But what's it called? One of the girls was a video of me laughing before, and like my best friend Ashley was like, she giggles like a schoolgirl in the background of the video. She's like, why does she giggle like a schoolgirl? And I was like, in the whole thing. Oh, lads, we are so funny. I need to.
So yeah, we didn't get any suggestions, did we? But that's basically my beef with Hinge. I'm like, I was going to text you back,
I
but
know.
now I'm not. Like, now I'm not. Because there's so many people I could send that I hate ghosting message to.
but you
And you
don't.
just have to have patience,
Yeah,
like
I know.
people won't respond for days sometimes,
You know
and
that video
it's
of Stormy being like, "Patience, patience." That's what he should be like.
well, and also now, but I'm like, but now I have to send him like a because I don't want to ghost him. Like I'm not a ghoster. I would have just continued the conversation. Whereas
Yeah.
now I don't want to continue the conversation because he said about the ghosting.
Yeah.
So now do I have to send like a weird like breakup message to this man I matched with on Friday?
I always just tell them I think this guy's a bit intense. Sorry, I had to
Ah,
reply this in my story. Guys
you
got
tell
jokes.
people you tell people they're a bit intense.
Oh yeah, I'm always like, you're so intense. I don't think you're the one for me. Bye. But I don't say it that way. I'm just like, sorry, this has been intense for me. I just don't want to talk to you anymore. I actually do all the time. There's this guy
Uh,
that kept trying to FaceTime me, and I was going through. I actually was going through a lot. This is when all the things started happening during the summer, and he kept trying to FaceTime me. And like, obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on that I can't talk about, obviously, online. And
yeah.
I was just going through a lot. Like, and Rebecca has been so good being there for me. So thank you so much. I love you so much. And what's it called? He kept trying to FaceTime me, and like I actually wasn't like in a good place to talk at all. And he just kept like randomly FaceTiming me and trying to like ring and text me and stuff. And like I was just like, this is a bit intense for me or whatever. And I actually never even fucking saved his number. The only reason why I knew it was him calling is because like when I went to save it, I went in to look and I was like, why the fuck is this guy still trying to ring me? Um and he sent me like all this, like he was being so intense. Let me try find the messages. Where's the 5th? When was this? Around the 8th is when shit started going down. Um, do do do. Oh fuck! My Man City thing was supposed to be delivered today. I'm gonna have to get on to them. I think they delivered to my old place.
But
Shit.
your yearly membership or something.
Yeah, my new scarf and my new membership card. I'm gonna have to contact fuck. Shit, I should have done that. Oh, here we go. This guy. He said he was so intense. Like
That is so intense.
this fella's
Have
such
you
an
and you
anxious.
hadn't met him?
Never met him in my life. He was like, good morning, baby. Hope you slept well. Okay. By the way, first day, this was like not even talking 24 hours. Never text him back in the morning. That was 8 a.m. 8 p.m. Yo, babes, you all right? What's going on? I was like, look, I've actually had a bad day. I'm not in the right headspace to talk to anyone. Sorry, this texting's a bit intense. So respectfully, I think it's best if you just leave me alone. And then he
Wait, you
goes,
were only talking to him for 24 hours.
yeah, not even. And he goes, sending you endless warmth and strength during this tough time. Remember, I'm here whenever you need pink hearts. And also, time is a healer. So whatever you got going on right now would pass, and always better days ahead. I'll give you time you need. Friday, 18th of August. Good morning. May this day bring you joy, opportunities, and hearts full of positivity. Here's to better things ahead and wonderful news on the horizon. Have a great day. Hoping it's all good news you hear. I said, thank you for the nice message. I know you mean well, but would you mind not texting me? And then, I said, not text me for a while. And he sent me loads of messages, didn't reply. He goes, what's a while? I said, if I'm asking for space, would you not give it to me? No. And he goes, that's fine, sorry. And then no word from him. Didn't he FaceTime me like last week? And I goes, who the fuck is FaceTime me from an English number? Because I thought it was the boy I was talking to. I was like, why the fuck's he FaceTime me in the middle of the day? And then, yeah, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, we got a question. How would you
Oh,
like your
that's good.
Oh, I love this question. How would
I love this question.
eh, how would you like your
I think
I think how would you like your ultimate podcast studio to look like in the future? Design, location, crew. That was a great question.
that is a great question. Fair
Yeah.
play to whoever asked that. Thank you for the content.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This is a hard question though.
Mm. Okay. Can I go first?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
first of
love how
all,
you like sink down into the bed.
I'm getting cozy when I talk about this. Okay, first of all,
Yeah, backstory.
location. Location. I think that me and Rebecca should be in either Manchester, Italy, or New York, and there's nowhere in between. They're the 3 countries I think that we should be in, okay?
Okay.
So studio, I think the studio needs to be black, right? With hints of other colors going through it. Maybe like a green, maybe something else. I don't really give a shit about the color, but black is really good for a background and it would
Mm.
enhance us, I think. Look, yeah, that was the location and the design. Oh, I want us on couches like the cancelled podcast, or do you know what? Even in bed. I don't care if there's a bed and we have to record from a bed. That would be comfortable. Um, Crew. I want really nice staff, and I want someone who is kinda like our friend in a sense where she gets our sense of humor, like, perfectly and that, like, she can come up with topics for us to talk about or can send us sheets beforehand so we can, like, know what we're going to talk about. Because we just kind of raw dog this, guys, I can't lie, like, we have no notes every time. Every now and then we might
We're
have some
totally
notes for the
raw
podcast.
dogging today as well.
Oh, today's been so raw dogged. I think that's why it seems so chaotic. This actually has turned out to be an excellent episode. And normally when we're recording it, I'm like, was that a good episode? But I feel like this will be a very good one by the end of it. Yeah. So that's it. I would love, and I would love obviously cameramen so we could both get our good angles on the camera.
Yeah, I want like because I saw the behind the scenes of the Cancel podcast and they have like the screens so they can see themselves, you know. So
Mm,
there's like big screens and then there's
yeah.
like multiple cameras getting all the angles. And
Yeah.
that's what Tana said. She said most of the people who do the podcast with them now are like friends and people they know,
Mm-hmm.
like who does the editing and all that kind of stuff. And like that's like I think in a creative industry, like you need that. Like because I think a lot of people think in business, you know, the line between friends and colleagues shouldn't be
Mm,
blurred and blah blah blah. But I think when you're in something like creative, like a podcast,
yeah.
it
They'll
has
know
to
what you
be,
want as well.
yeah, and it just everyone just has to be kind of on the same energy. I think with location as well, yeah, I think somewhere central because I think what I see us doing down the line, because obviously me and Neve has said multiple times that we're both not planning on staying in Ireland. And
Yeah.
like we're not gonna have a podcast studio like in Tralee. So
No.
if we both move away, I'd and we still did get to the point where we had a studio and stuff, like we could go to the studio like once a month, you know,
Yeah.
and record like the month.
I
And
also feel
then
like though
maybe
if we
like,
had a studio, we would live in it.
yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I
But
mean? I feel
and
like
we
we'd
could
be like,
have
"Let's go in."
multiple studios.
Yeah, we could. That's true. It wouldn't have to be one location, I
No.
guess.
But yeah, I think really comfy, really cozy, like Amazon blankets or any cozy blankets. They don't have to be from Amazon.
Yeah, I want a
Um,
comfy cozy, like I'm loving this
I want nice
podcasting from the
mics
bed.
as well.
The pink
I want the
ones.
mics, but yeah, but with the wire. I like the look of those. You know, the mics with the wire,
Yeah,
like a DJ
is it
mic,
like the
like a,
ones Oh, sorry. So like the ones in Call Her Daddy.
yeah, that there's I like. I
Yeah, they're
like those
cool.
mics.
I like them too. They're cool.
Yeah.
They're cool mics.
I love your response being like, guys got jokes.
I know, yeah. He's gonna think it's hilarious. I hope he doesn't listen to this episode now because he'll be like, what you talking about? No, I don't. In fairness, I actually love that. Like he has so much fun. It's just, I think I just get slightly triggered because my ex used to go missing for ages. And I'm like, I actually quite enjoy this guy. It'd be a shame if this is what turns me
But
off
I
him.
don't think he's going missing. Like why is he going out every Friday night?
See, this is where I kind of relate to him. Like he is older as well. Like he is like 27, 28. So like he needs to go out on Friday because he needs days to recover. He's like me. Like I don't even know why he fucking drinks.
No,
Like, do you
but
know what I
like,
mean?
is he going out with friends every Friday night? That's just
Anyway, I'm just whinging, guys. Like this is literally you're getting a perfect example of self-sabotage because he's actually perfect. Like he's fine. There's nothing wrong with going out with your friends and then sleeping all day Saturday. Hello, that's all I fucking do when I'm hungover. It's just I feel
I
like it
mean, once the communication's there.
yeah, and he's really big on communication. It's not an issue. It's more so me. I'm the problem. This is usually where I start to plant the seeds of self-sabotage in my head. So as it goes on, I'll be like, oh, well, I thought this at the start, and it's kind of like, it's stupid, like the way I go about it. It's like, it's not logical, really, to be honest. Oh,
But
don't know what
technically, if
happened.
you were dating, like you could just be hungover together on a Saturday. So then
Literally,
it's
yeah.
fine.
And there is the geographical location, which is also in the way right now. So, what can
Me
you
and Mister
do?
lives in a different country. Get along so
So
good.
good. Literally us out the door. There's no one for us to date in Ireland, though, to be fair.
I don't even try.
I don't
I
even
don't
bother.
even try. There was one person who I think was back in our hometown recently
Really?
who followed me on Instagram. And I've always been attracted to this person. Like I've always like appreciated
I
him
don't
from
even think you
afar.
told me this person.
No, I didn't tell you this. I've never told
Okay,
I
this is
haven't
news
told
to
anyone.
me. What?
So I think he was back in our hometown recently. I thought he moved back, but I don't think he did. Like in my head, he followed me.
Mm,
And then I was like, in my head, I was like, I could date him, or I could. Do you know when someone follows you, you put them into a little box, and you're like, I could date him. I could,
yeah,
whatever.
I do that a
And he like
lot.
is
I
heavy on
force boys
watching.
into these boxes that they don't belong in as well, to be
Yeah,
honest.
and he's heavy like watching in my stories as well. So I'm
Mm,
like intrigued. But
mm.
I think he's gone back to where he resides. So that's unfortunate.
Will
That
you
was
tell
my
me who
one
it is?
option.
I have something to talk about as well, actually. Do you remember I said the last day, remind me to say something about my flirting skills?
Yes.
So, guys, I'm actually really good at flirting because I'm just so shit at it, and I think boys find that really attractive because I'm really, really bad at it. But like when you just don't give a shit, like in your flirting, like that's just me out the door. So
Yeah.
basically, the boy I've just been giving out about this whole podcast, who's actually a really nice boy, and I really do like him. Um, so I feel like he's gonna listen to this whole episode back. We might need to cut certain bits of it out, but anyway,
You're gonna make me cut so much out. I
I
already
won't make
know.
you cut
I
out certain bits of
already
it.
know you
But
will.
anyway,
You'll overthink it and be like, no, we're cutting all of this.
I just feel like he's such a catch. I don't want to ruin it. But anyway, um, I ghosted him the last day because like I don't like talking on Snapchat, and we initially had been talking on Instagram. Also, he only has like 200 followers, which is like music to my ears. Like, no fear.
Lovely.
Like, he's not big on Instagram. Like, he literally has 6 photos, and I had to like pry another one out of his cold hands. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas like he'd be sending me Snapchats all the time, but it's like all these images of him. Like, do you know what I mean? So I texted him the last day and I was like, oh, can I have your number? And he's like, oh, you're looking for my digits, is it? Like joking. And I was like, yeah, I need to find this. I actually, do you know what? I'm going to put up on the podcast page instead of talking about it. But I was like, yeah, just give me your number. And I really like somebody when I'm iMessaging them because I ignore every app. Snapchat, Instagram, WhatsApp, I'll ignore because work is on WhatsApp for me as well. So if I'm texting someone on WhatsApp,
Yeah.
it's either to do with work or it's family related or it's something. It's not a really text me on WhatsApp kind of a thing. So if I really like somebody, I will text them on iMessage. And I asked him for his number and he was like, why? And I sent him this like digital touch message of like a penis. So like now all I've been doing is like sending him like randomly throughout the day, like random digital touch messages of penises. And
What's a
like
digital touch message?
it's like, oh my God, do you not know how to do it? Do you know what? I'm going to do one live on the thing here. I'm going to send it to him. I'm going to do exactly to you what I've been doing to
Yeah,
him.
that's what I wanted. That's why I want the experience
Okay,
of
okay.
what you
I'm
did.
trying to like balance the mic. Okay, I'm just going to put the mic here for a second. 1 second. Sorry to everyone on audio. Oh, Jesus, that's a bad penis. 1 minute now.
What?
I'm trying to do the penis that I do. Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought I sent that to my client. Oh my God. Did you get it?
Oh my God, it's like a little masterpiece.
Thank you. I know. And I hope you're listening to this too, sir, because I also think that they're a masterpiece. Um,
And
but
then it
yeah.
just disappears.
And then it just disappears, or you can keep it. I've kept all of the ones. Are you trying
So
to?
if I write back, do you get it?
Yeah, you've just sent me 2 random dots though.
I don't really use iMessage.
Yeah, I do if I like somebody, but if I don't. I'll I'll put them on one of the other apps. No, that's not true. I've had texted other people on other apps, but if I really enjoy their company, I will text someone I message. Guys, we need to come back on because I never
We
checked
got
the we
questions.
got questions and I have to laugh. I'm so sorry. So, um, the first one, actually, this will be the second one because we've already answered the question. How we feel or how ye feel about small town mentality and how to work through it.
Just a small town girl.
Living in a lonely world. Okay, so my thing is, I used to find it so hard because I used to be such a people pleaser. I can't even explain. I would put my needs to the back of the thing because I was trying to please people. And I feel like when you're from a small town like Tralee, although I love Tralee, it can be very small-minded, and that's okay. It's just the way it is. Um, and you just have to remember that it's your life and like, the small-mindedness from certain people. Like, you know what? Actually, this is like a perfect thing because one of the girls sent me, she's from the town of Tralee. She doesn't live in the town anymore. And she was gonna put up on Instagram the last day. And she sent it to me because she was like, "Oh, you can see them because I'm too scared to post them." And I was like, "Why wouldn't you post these pictures? You literally look so hot." And she's like, "I just couldn't deal with them being in a group chat." And I was like, girl, if they're in a group chat, that is literally just people who are like deflecting their own insecurities onto you because they are so jealous that they wouldn't be confident enough to post a picture like this on Instagram. Like, please don't like stop yourself. Like, if you limit yourself to small town mentality, I think you're limiting your growth because of the fact that like your personality is so big and you're meant to grow. But if you're stuck in a small town mentality, like you won't grow. You need to just ignore it to flourish, you know?
You really do. And also, this is a thing I always say. You can't live your life based on the hypothetical thoughts of hypothetical people. Because I said this recently in a conversation. You never know what anyone's thinking. You might think you know, but you don't know. Like your inner, deep, dark
It's
thoughts. I don't
crazy.
share that with anyone,
No,
So you might think someone is your biggest fan and they might fucking hate your guts. And you might think someone hates you
and
and
they're
that
your
they're
biggest
gossiping
fan.
about and that and they're your biggest fan.
Mm,
Also, it's hypothetical people you don't know. So if you're about to post an Instagram photo and you're like, oh, I don't like, why is your mind even going? Like, what group chat? How many group chats are we in? Probably a lot. Do I give a fuck?
no,
No.
I've
Like,
all of
I'm glad
mine
you said,
muted.
oh
Like
God,
all of
you're
mine are
welcome.
muted.
No, but I mean, like, as in, like, shit I've done is
Mm.
my thing. Like,
Oh, I
I'm
know I'm in group chats. I've been had
like,
people say
you're
back,
welcome
"Oh,
for
that
the
was put in a
content.
group chat," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're welcome. That was fun. Thanks for letting me be part of the club." Like,
I don't have
appreciate
any
you.
like group chats that be gossipy like that. Do you know what I mean?
And if they are, they're
That
just
be putting
losers.
people
It's
shit in
really
them.
hard though. It's very easy for us to say because I feel like we're on the other end of it, like, and we don't take small-mindedness into account, but, like, I genuinely feel like just try and because like, what I always say this is like, people in the gym, we're always scared that the people are looking at us, but we're also concerned with ourselves and how we look, that we don't look at anyone else.
No, and like people aren't in the gym for that.
No, and I just feel like that's a perfect example because I feel like sometimes we think that people are talking about us or like they're like giving out about us, but they genuinely probably don't care. Do you know what I mean? They probably don't care
All
enough.
self-concept though, it's all energy. Like it's all
Yeah.
like if you people like I always say like I'm so magnetic, like people are drawn to my energy. Like so this is all in my head all the time.
Mm,
So I'm not assuming anyone's like looking at me a weird way or talking shit about me or whatever. Obviously it takes years to get to that place. But if you are constantly worried about that people are talking shit about you, that's the energy that you're putting out there. So that's what you're going to attract in.
I agree.
And also like and also small towns have tall poppy syndrome. Like we're in a small town and loads of people in our small town are probably like, oh my God, I love your podcast. Like it's doing so well.
Yeah.
Until you get to a certain point. And when that poppy gets too tall, people don't
Mm,
like it.
they don't like it exactly.
Or
I
people don't like it until it's tall enough.
Until it's tall enough and they think it should stop. Yeah, I agree. We
Mhm.
also got making friends in small towns and pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. Well, I think that this person might be local to Chile, so please come to the Pay Attention podcast night that we are planning at the moment. So basically, if you are in the vicinity of Chile, please come to the Pay Attention podcast night that we are planning. It's going to be so much fun, and we are planning it in a sense of if you drink or you don't drink, because I won't be drinking now. We're very aware of this. It's going to be suitable for everyone, and there's also going to be drinks. So if you want to drink, you can drink. Um, and we just want to make it like this fun thing where like, you know, we talked about this before. There's so much loneliness like in your mid to late 20s and like it's really hard to make friends. So we want to kind of create an environment where you can make friends. And like if you're coming to a pay attention podcast night, we're all like-minded people. So like we're all very similar in that sense and that you can make some friends there. My other advice would be to do you know what? I actually never talked about this on the podcast. I think it's like a really good thing. But I feel like, you know, you will struggle to do this if you're like really shy. When I first moved to Manchester, I'd put up this story and I'd like message no, I didn't put it up, my friend Courtney did. And I was like, I wish you were in Manchester. I'm going to see MK tonight because we used to have this song called 17 that he used to play when we were in college. And that's how we became best friends to that song. It was just so good. And like my first night out
Okay.
with her, "Live for me, baby," and it was like the first night out we ever had, we were at MK. We became best friends after that, and we nearly got kicked out to that song, so that's why that's our song, but I had texted her basically saying, "I wish you were here so you could come tonight," and she put it up and I started being like, "Oh, just the long distance with Neve is so hard." Anyway, this girl had followed Courtney and was like in living in Manchester, was looking to make some friends. So she wrote to me on Instagram, followed me and wrote to me and was like, "Hey, this might be really weird, but I'm also Irish and I'm living in Manchester. And if you want to like go for a coffee or like a drink or something sometime, please let me know." And I was like, "I'd love that." And after that, we became best friends. And she's still like a really good friend of mine. And we did so many events together. We went to, I'm pretty sure we went to so many like events, nights out. We went to we went to Bad Boy Chiller Crew. We went out. We went just for coffee one day. Like, isn't like so good. She came over. We went over to her house. She cooked dinner for me. She came to a Man City game with me. Like, we ended up being best friends at the end of it. I know.
That's so see, I think as well though, like when say you're both in Irish and you're both in Irish, you're
They're both in Irish in Manchester. Sorry, lads, we hopped off
you're
and we hop
both
back on densities.
I think my energy since I came back on is weird. Um, ye were both in Manchester and you were both Irish. So I think in those instances,
Mm,
people might find it a bit easier. Whereas, like,
yeah.
say if you're in town, like, say
Yeah.
we're here, me and you are here. Like,
Mm,
I think I would, and even I would find it hard to like even when we started talking at the start, like I
mm,
was like, when we did the podcast, and then after I was like, we should like do a podcast. Like I was like, this went really well, but I was
yeah.
like, I don't want you to think that I'm like, you
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
starting
I
to date
get you.
someone like you're kind of like
Mm,
I was when I was texting you, I was like, I don't want this girl to think I'm like so eager, even though we knew each other, but we didn't.
yeah. Yeah, I
Do you know
know.
what I mean?
Yeah, I get that location thing, but I definitely think if like a girl even in town messaged me and was like, "Hey, do you want to go for a coffee sometime?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." Like, you know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah,
sometimes putting yourself out there, it's uncomfortable, but like it's really
it is.
like the reward is 10 times better. And also if you have any interest, like I'm not going to say the gym because I feel like not everyone's interested in the gym, right? So it might be hard to find your people in the gym. But if you are interested in the gym, like maybe it's a case of, you go to like a certain class or like you go to a new Pilates class or you do some fun activity that you wouldn't have done before. And also, I think the main thing is coming to the Pay Attention podcast now because I feel like you'll make some friends there and pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. I definitely think like it is hard at this age to try and make friends, but like there is so many opportunities and avenues, and like you have to remember that like so many people as well like are in the same boat as you and are trying to make friends, and a lot of their friends have moved away and stuff, so like they don't really have that many friends back here. So yeah, I feel like a lot of the times it's kind of just like putting ourselves out of our comfort zone and seeing like what can we do, to be more friends.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
the
true.
Pay
It's
Attention
just sad
pod
'cause
night.
our small town yeah, because our small town doesn't have too many things going on. That's the
It
issue.
doesn't. That's what I was thinking. So definitely I think our Pay Attention podcast night. will be
Yeah, we need to actually
moving my you can answer this perfectly because I haven't done it. Moving my whole life over to the other side of the world, scared. This girl is moving to Australia.
oh, this is exciting. Number one, it is scary, but that's the point. Like
Mm-hmm.
that is actually the point. Like it's supposed to be scary. It's supposed to scare you. You're supposed to be like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Because on the other side of your comfort zone is growth and realizations and realizing things. Of course it's scary. And of course, like, oh my God, I'm moving your
Mm,
whole life to the other side of the world. But like just focus on the positive of that as opposed to like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. Because it is so overwhelming. But it
mm,
also like the, the reward is so high. Like even if you go there and you absolutely hate it and you regret every second, it will still make you realize things about yourself. You're still gonna grow, you're still gonna learn new things about yourself as a person. So like it's scary and you're
mm,
leaving home behind and you're leaving people behind and you're leaving memories behind. And every time you leave, as a girl who has left multiple times,
mm-hmm.
like every time I've left, I've been like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
my last night sleeping in my childhood bedroom with my parents downstairs.
And then
Lo
you
and
come back.
behold, it's not my last night.
You come back.
But like you can romanticize and dramatize everything and be like, and then when you're
Mm,
over there, this is my biggest piece of advice. When you're over there, don't do the whole grass is all greener with home thing. Because I think a lot of people get caught in that loop. They go
mm.
to Australia, they go to Canada, they go to America, they go to Spain, and they romanticize the
Coming
idea of
home.
home.
Yeah.
And
I
oh my
actually
God, if I
will
was at home,
also counteract that and say that people do that about Australia as well. They think that the
oh,
grass
I
is
know they
greener
do.
over
And
there. Like, I think the grass
yeah,
is greener where you water it. So I think you're dead right. Like, go over there and enjoy it because, like, you're only going to get a 2-year visa if you don't get permanent residency. Like, enjoy that shit.
enjoy it. Yeah, and exactly.
Yeah.
And I was talking to someone today who's going back to Australia in literally 2 days. And, there's so many good things. Of course, going over there, it's, you have to get rent and you have to set yourself up, but that's such a life experience. There's only a chunk of time in your life where you can actually up and move your whole life to the other side of the world.
Yeah,
Because
that's
my
so
mom
true.
was saying here, yeah, my mom was saying earlier, like, she can't do that now. Like, her
Mhm.
and my dad can't be like, oh, we'll go to Australia for a year or two. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's an adventure and just look at it as an adventure and just don't think about it too much. That's my advice. You don't need to overthink it.
Don't think about it too much. That's actually great advice. I feel like
Don't think
the only place I didn't do that was Manchester, just because I knew I was so close to home that I could have hopped on a flight back if I wanted. Like, but I feel like if I
yeah.
went that far, I would romanticize it as well. Um, that is it. I think we're good for now. If anyone else asks any more questions, we'll throw them into next week's ones,
We have.
guys. Okay, thank you so much for listening to this chaotic episode with us. It's been a minute. It's been a journey. It's been
It's
the
been a,
moment.
a moment in time.
It has.
One moment
It's in
in time.
time. Guys, go vote for us in the Listener's Choice Award. It's still open.
Yeah, we need to share.
We need to share
We're
that
so
again for
good at we're
fuck's
so good
sake.
at social
Um,
media for the podcast.
and follow our Instagram page, and we love you
And
all so
follow us on
much.
the podcast and
And
leave a
follow us on the
review.
podcast and leave a review. And if you're on YouTube, comment
Sorry
on
for
it,
shouting.
something funny, and I'll comment something funny back to you. And if you're really good, I will send you a little draw touch penis. So we're all winners here. Okay, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. We might put up a question
Woo!
box ahead of time so you can ask us better questions next week. Sorry, because I put it up mid podcast. Okay,
Mid
love you
podcast.
all. Bye, guys.
Ciao.